welcome to our channel. I'm Kelly.
I'm Rich.
And we are One of Us Adventures.
In last week's video, you would have seen us restoring our rusty back end and painting that in Raptor.
And now we are going to be working on upgrading some of the gadgets on the back and also refitting our console.
Hope you enjoy this week's video. Big thumbs up if you do.
Subscribe.
And leave a comment down below. That's the most important thing to us. And thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy. Now that the screen's back in, we can focus on putting the dashboard back together. But before I do that, I'm just going to check the wiring is okay, because there's a few bits and bobs in there that shouldn't be in there. Have a look at this nest of wiring, which a lot of it is factory, but when I say I've got an open live wire here, either try and figure out what that's come off of. I don't want cables like this knocking about either. I've tidied this up down here and got rid of those odd live wires. I found here that I've got a spare live, a spare ground, and then these two tracer wires here actually come to here for a warning light. I'm going to use these because they trace all the way back to a fog light switch over there, which aren't being used. Right, but these here, all of these relays were just in here loose, like knocking about. What I'm going to do now is mark each of these up so I know which cable does what, unplug them and push them through here. These aren't made to go in this fuse box, but there's a space here, so I'm going to do the next best thing that I can and basically just screw them into the top here, just so they're not floating about, and I'll be able to access them easier as well. Fuse box back in. All here out and looking tidy. So we can access the auxiliary fuse box, which is here. We can access these now, and they're not flopping about all over the place, which is great. And I've just cable tied up all the things. Now these ones here, they're loose cables, and they are, I'm going to use them for my strobe sight lights, which we set up all the time. Just going to spend a little bit of time taking some hinges off my Mini. This is just part of a grander plan to get it MOT'd this week. We wanted to show you that it's not just bus stuff that we get up to. So yeah, this was a pain. Oh my god, that took like 2.5 hours. Never mind, it's done now. Got these little connectors, these are waterproof, and you can fit 6 wires in each side. What I'm going to do is first of all make a little loom up for these. You can basically connect these tails up to this wiring. I've bought a new label gun, so it was on offer at Toolstation, and it allows you to print heat shrink. So I bought some aftermarket heat shrink for it, sort of 3 rolls, very cheap on Amazon. I'm going to give this a go, just so we know what does what. The reason why I've done that, like, first and foremost, I have terrible memory. Second reason, the labels just look cool. Third reason, should I ever have to switch these out again in the future, I know what the wiring all is, I don't need to figure it back out again. Trying to take the Mini for an MOT, I've got to be there very soon, and the gear knob's blown off. I need to try and replace it.
Why does stuff like this always happen?
We're at the service station, ready for the MOT. Let's see if it passes. On the way though, I found that the wind on the motorway did blow out quite a lot of the mouse's nest. So hopefully that's the end of that. I can hoover it up later. I've dropped down to pick Lily up in the Mini. this is my dedication to the cause. So you can see that I brought this with me, and I've just pushed these wires into here now, and I've now got a way connecting and disconnecting. Go home in a minute, and I'm going to wire these tails into the existing wiring that's there, leaving this neat block to just connect into here. Every job I want to do at the moment has another job block in it. I want to put in my plastic step, so I've actually brought a new one because the coach company just cut the old one up to get it out, because you need to basically remove this seat base to lift it up, because it goes underneath it, and it goes in this hole here, a couple of holes under here, and a couple of holes under here. You can see that I've put a piece of wood here for my floor. So what I'm going to do, because it doesn't all need to come out, I'm going to use my multi-tool to just edge that bit out, and then we should be able to get this step in. Okay, so I got it in. What I did was, as you saw, I cut like a relief cut in here, which allowed me to make a gap to push that in. I just bashed that in with a little rubber mallet. Lifted the seat box up, but that's bolted back down now with the batteries in. Send the steps back in. So it just need a clean. It's just all like God knows storage, but that's back in. Batteries back in now, so we can get on and wire that stuff up. New loom on, so you can see now I've got all of this watertight. Push all of this back in that hole in a minute, and then just have this connecting block protruding. Much tidier. That will be tomorrow's job. I'll grommet in there, keep the wires from getting damaged. Boom. One of the looms actually made up in the evening time, and this is a little montage of that going together. I separated the wires off from the main loom. Added in some of the connectors, pop them in the connector blocks, and boom, it was done. So it's, what day is it today? Wednesday evening. I'm just gonna start a bit of this, a little bit of wiring now we made that loom up yesterday evening. I bought a new reversing beeper, and I'm gonna wire in some of this into the side lights, because then the side lights, when they are activated, turn the reversing beeper off. At the moment, at night it will go off, so I want to remove that just in case we're anywhere quiet where we don't want to be disturbing people and we want to be reversing. So it's like a nice £7 upgrade I wanted to add in. Just a little reminder of how bad this is here. Pretty bad. We'll sort it. Ignore this will be fixed tomorrow. You can see here that I've wired that blue cable now into the side lights. Should come through here, and that will wire down into the side light, fitting on my new buzzer, a reversing buzzer. When the side lights are on, that reversing buzzer will not work, but the reversing light still will. Is the idea. I've done those three. Next up, this lot. So you can see here this black and white wire and this green wire here they are my indicators and hazards, so they need to be joined together and then linked into this yellow cable. This white cable here is from my reversing relay, which I do need to fix, and this is from my ground. Now I've got a bunch of ground wires here that I need to join together. At the moment they're going through this connector block. I'm going to splice mine together and solder them, and the same for all of these positive wires that are linked together. And the reason why you've got all of these coming through here is because the positive kind of goes up to the top lights and over there to the other lights over here, and so on and so forth. So they do all need to be here, they just don't need to be connected up like this. It's Thursday evening and I've got a thing bugging me with the wiring. I've not finished it yet, but when I plug the driver's side rear light in, the indicator flashes really quickly, but the the passenger side one doesn't. And I'm like, oh, the wiring, that must be kaput. And then I'm like, I wonder if it's because I've got an indicator out at the top. So I'm gonna have a look at that now, because basically the LEDs that are in my new LED lights are lower, obviously require a lower voltage is it to flash quicker. So I'm hoping that's what that is. So let's go have a look. That one's clearly a new bulb. This is the indicator bulb. And there's your problem. I hope. Right, I'll get this changed out and see if that makes sense. This is all off at the moment in the bus. I've disconnected it, so I'm just going to take that out. Tidy. Don't have to think about that tonight now. We'll finish this off in the morning. So these are the old cables here. I was going to solder them up last night, but I thought, they're pretty dirty. So I looked on the interwebs and I found that there's a tip where you can use white vinegar and salt to clean them up. So I'm going to give that a go. I didn't think there was anything to lose. So let's mix that up. It's not night and day, but you can see copper now, which is great. So rinse them off, give them a little dry, let them air dry for a bit, and then I'm going to solder them up. What I've got here is a lot of black and brown and a white wire, and they're all earths. So I need to join all of these together and attach it to this one, and have a jumper cable earth for my reversing light as well. 3 cables for my reversing buzzer I need to feed through, and because this wire is quite thin, it was causing me trouble. So what I did was join them together just with a little bit of heat shrink temporarily, and I can feed that through the gap I need it to go. So I've just got the buzzer rigged up here with the Wagos just to test it. This is all in now, so this stuff should all work now. Let's try it out. That isn't quite working as I thought it would do, but we'll probably be able to sort it out in a minute. Oh, that's pretty good. I've reinstalled it with stainless steel nuts, just like I've done everywhere else. They're M8, by the way, if you're wondering. And shake washers, they're on there now. You can see this was a little bumper that someone sent me for free ages ago. So if you're watching, thank you for that. It was someone on Facebook, so it's unlikely, but thank you. Absolutely shows that the community is amazing. I sprayed this in a bed liner, so it looks pretty good. I'm really happy with that. And these LED lights, I need to take that off later. I'll let Cal do that. She likes that sort of a thing. Look ace. I don't think they look out of place at all. You know, they don't look garish. I think that's a solid upgrade personally. But let me know what you think.
I've got mine off nearly.
I got mine off.
Have you got the top bit off? You've got the bottom bit off like a pro.
Mine's just a little bit at the top.
Oh, they look good, I think.
I got a little bit up my top. Got it.
She won.
I won.
Get my top bit off now.
Have a check, Mum. There might be a little bit more over here, but I think she's got it all.
She has got it all, yeah.
She did it so fast.
I know.
That's all that present wrapping, unwrapping skills that you've got, I think.
Because I have been ripping open boxes all the time.
Yeah. Now, a few weeks ago, probably months, I don't know, we took this thing out on what we thought would be a quick turnaround, and we found a little rust. But today's the day that we're hopefully
Gonna be putting it all back together.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Knowing us, maybe not.
Now this little bit here is held in with 4 clips underneath that are obviously all brittle. And we don't have those clips. So to make it work, what I've done is put some M6 riv nuts in underneath. And I'm just going to put in some 25mm bolts with these penny washers. And it will hold it in there probably tighter than it did before. So you can see under here, where I've already put one in. And I'm going to put another one in here. You see the little riv nut in under there? And I'll hold that in there nice and sturdy.
So you see you have to really get in some glamorous positions when you're working on a bus.
We have to, under here, look, I don't know if you can see, put more riv nuts in, but it's worked real nice to be fair.
Yeah, I got them.
No more rattles. Not that you can hear it over our 90 decibel engine. Yeah, it's just, I don't know if you can get these in black. We were going to spray them the same, but
yeah,
because of these.
The symbols won't be there then.
So, yeah, we might have to think about that in the future, but those bits are on. These side bits next. We had a bit for the middle as well, but in my haste I just ripped out and ripped it in half, and all it is a piece of cardboard. So Carol's been creating something.
So in here there was a bit of like cardboard stuff, but we ripped it in half by accident, or it had perished, I don't know. So I've drawn a new one on here, which we need to cut out. It's okay.
Look, Carol, what's happened?
I shook it up and then I took the cap off and then this just flew off. Thank you! Thank you, and you!
Cheers!
And that's what happened. Bad times. I thought I'd put that on there to stop it getting dirty, but... So one horizontally.
I have to spray it on.
Yeah?
Yeah, make sure you've got the part the right way round
Yeah.
before you spray it. So yeah, you need to spray that side, don't you?
That side.
Yeah.
I had to think about it.
That's it.
Ooh, it went off my shoe.
Bit kind of dry to the touch almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just put one on top of the other. And it adhere to itself.
Let's hope I've kind of worked this out right. Do I need to spray this side?
Yeah, you'll need to glue the bit that you want.
Yeah.
So you can spray the whole lot actually, because we'll probably just stick it in the bus like it.
Okay. Oh.
Trimming masterclass with One the Bus Adventures.
Never done anything like this before. Looking it up as you go along. Paper note. Oh, that's not how I thought
This
it
is
was
not
gonna
the
be.
recommended positioning for ergonomic working, by the way.
It's called bodging.
we've got one of these to replace our cigarette lighter. So it's a fancy voltmeter and USB charger. So I'm going to install that now before we put this all back in the existing hole, which of course is too small. But we made sure we labelled everything and put it in these little baggies when we put it away, which was a really smart idea actually, because we thought we were going to be taking this out one weekend and putting it back the next, so it's been literally months. So there's no way I would have remembered what went with what. So yeah, it's uncharacteristically like us to do something like that.
It is.
So yeah, pretty pleased that we did. Right, okay, so what I can ascertain is, first thing to put on is the bottom pieces. Put that on first. So these guys all under here, because they all slot in underneath. Next, add these side trim pieces here, but not the handles. Okay, both sides. Then, put the top on. And do this screw up here, and there's one on the other side. On yours, you'll also have screw holes along the bottom. I am not putting those back in. It seems pretty sturdy without it, the way that mine bows up. I don't want to introduce any new rust areas in my bus. So if it does rattle and stuff, I'll probably stick a bit of mastic or something down there. But for the time being, I'm not going to worry about that. Other little thing that I noticed on here that I didn't when I was taking them off is on the vents there are direction arrows. So when you put these little vents back in, you can see that this spline here should line up with this, and then they should be pointing towards the screen. So it'd be very easy to put these back in, back to front or side to side or whatever. But that, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, is what that is for. So I've got air coming up here for this bit, middle bit here, middle bit that way, and then that way up there, creating like a nice curtain of air to demist the windscreen.
Hello guys.
Ta-da!
It's a bit dusty.
Okay. Hello guys.
It's on a scooter.
Yeah. My name's Ryan. We're back. Today we are going for dinner at Nine Greta.
We're having tea there, aren't we, in a minute?
First time in a year.
Yeah, because he only went last year.
It's only kind of lazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we had to invite ourselves round, didn't we?
Yeah. And then they said yes. And that's great. Because we didn't see them the other day.
No, we've not seen them this weekend, have we, at all?
But today we get to.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all back in. Next step is we have got some overspray and some damage to the binnacle. So I'm going to clean that up. And then we need to put the engine cover back on, the covers for the switches underneath. And then we're going to be restoring the steering wheel. This is one of the things that's different plastics than the other, so we might have to end up repainting it, I think.
Yeah,
But
possibly.
for now, we'll just keep an eye on it. So yeah, we found that almost all of the dashboard is like scratch resistant with this paint, apart from this thing.
And the steering
And the
wheel.
steering
yeah.
wheel. So we're in the process of reworking the steering wheel.
So here we are, it is in, but as you can see there's still some more bits to finish, like we need to order some new switches for our lights on the top and all the other little bits and pieces, and these are still grey, so we'll probably see if we can find some black ones, and I've got to finish the steering wheel because it's been a bit of a palaver. I messed it up, but it's fine, it's fixable.
Yeah, we're going to show you how we do that too.
Yeah.
Quick, let's go show them the back.
Okay.
So yeah, we're really pleased with how the back's turned out as well. These new lights that we've got around here, they look a lot like the factory ones that came on the bus.
LED.
But they're LED, nice and bright, and we're really pleased with them. Next job, at the back here in the future is we're going to be putting a really nice underrun bar on here, tow bar and all of that good stuff. So yeah, please do subscribe if you'd like to see that.
Thanks for watching and we hope you have a lovely week. See you soon. 1, 2, 3.
Bye!